Just the yogurt was there. There was no dates.
Oh, she didn't put dates?
Yeah, she did, but you didn't.
But I couldn't find.
Okay, well, she offered a few, she offered a few dates. And there was no fruit juice? What did you give me? You gave me some drink. It wasn't fruit juice, though. What was it?
Drink. Tea.
No, I don't want that. I need fruit juice in the morning. I told you. Fruit juice, yogurt, dates, and there was no banana. What?
What can I do?
Well, then let her do it. She's.
Somebody else. Maybe he's good.
Well, I asked Amala, but he didn't.
Actually, the boys should serve.
Anybody I don't care who it is, as long as I know what they're doing, Okay, we have a few people. Maybe if we chant, somebody else will come. Gokulananda promised me he'd come.
He's supposed to come now, he said.
Okay, so let's chant until we get a quorum. Can you hand me the kartals, Prabhu? No, right here. Oh, there's Samir, Prabhu. All right, Hare Krishna. Hey, we have sound, we have image, we have Krishna and Prabhupada. Just a few minutes kirtan, because it's actually an hour and a half seminar, so we have to get to it. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Nahamane Nama Om. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Rishakarine Nirvishesha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nanda Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Let us all say Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Amala, would you like to be our reader? Do you remember how that worked? Because I was narrating my script, and then somebody else would read the slides, right? So, and there is an oldie but goodie like me, my peer, generational peer. Thanks for coming, Prabhu. Okay, so Gokulananda Prabhu has seen my 11-year-old version of this seminar that I gave here in 2015. Amala Harinam has seen the current version, well, 2025's version. So you're familiar, and I think, were you here, did you see the seminar? You were here? Yeah, okay. Kritamala Mataji also gave. Can everybody see all right? Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big screen. So Prabhuji, should I tell Chaitanya Vikram that we should do this in the evening? So would more people come? Okay. What time in the evening? 6:30, 7? What time is the RT?
It's 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, 7:30 to 9.
What time is the RT over?
RT is from 7 to 7:30.
Oh, well, that's pretty late. Yeah.
We start till 6 o'clock.
People won't.
They won't come. They are working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then it's kind of late, right? I mean, 'cause they do have Mogal Arti. It's 4:30. It's Mogal Arti. I was here.
No problem.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll talk to him today and suggest that, because I mean, I'm grateful you folks came, but we should whatever's going to maximize attendance. Just leave it where it was, Prabhu. I mean, it's a big screen. There's only a few people here. Love, what are you doing? Just put it the way it was. Oh. Oh, was that its camera? Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay, we ready? All right, so when we have the seminar, the phones have to be off. No phones. Is the phone off or is it on? Just turn it off so you don't get distracted by pings and pongs. Okay. So, welcome to the 2026 version of Srila Prabhupada, our founder, Acharya. Amala's going to read the title.
Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya.
Subtitle.
Starting reading Srila Prabhupada's unique transcendental position in ISKCON, as well as every follower's foundational relationship with him.
Yes, so in the title and in the subtitle is contained the whole message of this 10-lesson series. Srila Prabhupada is not just for the 4,780 some people he initiated. He's for everybody. He's the Jagat Guru. He's the foundational spiritual master of all generations of ISKCON devotees. And it's that common identity that's going to allow us to continue in a united way and not be so divided. Okay, so I do have a script. I tell a story for every lesson. So the first lesson is called, I'm going to read this. Whoop. Well, actually, you don't see a title, do you, for the first lesson? Okay, good. It's called The Spiritual Masters. It's Guru Tattva according to Prabhupada's presentation of Guru Tattva in CC Chapter 1. It's called The Spiritual Masters. All right. So I set that theme. I set it in a storyline here. So the year is 1972, and that's actually a picture from the Bhagavad Dharma discourse in 1972 where Prabhupada's lecturing. Were you? Yes, I was there. Wow, okay. Yes, New Vrindavan. Amazing. Yes, this is Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja Day, the day after Janmashtami. And the reason it happened is because Rupanuga Prabhu approached Prabhupada and said, you know, we've been in America now for 6 years, but people still don't understand who we are. You know, we look different, we smell different, we eat different, and they think it's something alien or foreign. They see us singing on the street corners, but they don't really get it. So Prabhupada said, well, we would call them today influencers. Invite the academics, invite the journalists, invite the media, politicians, journalists, and academics to come and hear what this is all about. And so they did, from late August to early September. And in the middle, Prabhupada stopped his discourses, and he just took time out to celebrate Janmashtami and Vyasa Puja. So this is from Vyasa Puja Day, 1972. The year is 1972 in New Vrindavan, USA. It is Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja Day. As the sun climbs to the meridian, the thick mist shrouding the West Virginia foothills gives way to a spotless blue. Inside a hilltop pavilion, hundreds of devotees and guests, politicians, journalists, and academics among them, have gathered to observe the 76th anniversary of Prabhupada's birth. So it was 76 Vyasa Puja. It is to the guests especially that Prabhupada directs his address. So here's what Prabhupada, this is the exact words. Here we go. Amala.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, those who are my students, they know what is the ceremony. Those who are visitors, for their information, I may inform you something about this ceremony. Otherwise, it may be misunderstood. An outsider may say that why a person is being worshipped like God. There may be some doubt.
So look at that seat, this makeshift throne that the devotees had made, crimson, royal kind of colors. So Prabhupada's looking out. There's about 1,000 devotees and guests. There's about 100, VIPs, and there's mostly devotees from all over America. There may be some doubt. Doubt indeed. The 1960s and 70s have seen a spike in the number of opportunistic gurus coming to the West, streamlining Vedic revelation to suit modern tastes and reaping the profits. To establish trust, Prabhupada begins to demystify the guru by connecting him to other gurus in parampara. A disciplic succession of authentic spiritual masters descending from Lord Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demystification continues.
On the top of the mango tree, there is a very ripened fruit, and that fruit has
So right away, Prabhupada's saying, if the guru is not connected to some disciplic succession traceable to Krishna, he's bogus. He's self-styled. He's pretending to be a guru. But well aware of modern aversion to authority, especially in America, America started by running away from England, the king, and we're trying to get rid of a king today too. No kings. Prabhupada then compares the guru to that venerable American pedestrian, the mailman. Here we go.
Just like a postman comes and delivers you, say $100. So he is not delivering that $100. Your friend has sent you $100. And his business is to hand over that $100 as it is, without any change. Without taking $1 from it? No. Or adding cost. No addition, no subtraction. His honesty, his perfection is that he delivers you that $100 which is sent by your friend. He may be imperfect in so many other ways, but when he does his business perfectly, he is perfect. Similarly, we receive perfect knowledge from Krishna through the agency of spiritual master.
So a real guru, all gurus in one sense are one because they're delivering Krishna's message, but they're also different. So here we go with guru is one, gurus are different. The guru as God's mailman, down to earth, yet out of this world. In this sense, all genuine gurus are one. Those Vyasa Puja guests who later read Prabhupada's teachings will learn how all genuine gurus also differ. There's Kaviraj Goswami. And let's see. In the very first text of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the definitive biography of Lord Krishna's golden avatar, Lord Chaitanya, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami begins by offering his respectful obeisances unto his many spiritual masters.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotee of the Lord's incarnation, his plenary portion, his energies, and the preeminent Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
So immediately he's saying Gurun, Bande Gurun. It's plural, the spiritual masters. In the book's introduction, Srila Prabhupada notes,
Kaviraj Goswami uses the plural here to indicate that disciplic succession. He offers obeisances not to his spiritual master alone, but to the whole parampara, the chain of disciplic succession, beginning with Lord Krishna himself.
and who was Kaviraj Goswami's Diksha Guru, do you know? It's a very famous... No. Well, yes, Lord Nityananda. At the end of every chapter of CC, Kaviraj Goswami offers his respects to Rupa and Raghunath, but they're his Shiksha Gurus. But he actually took Diksha from Lord Nityananda. So his initiating spiritual master is none other than, of the Godhead category. But still, he's not just focusing on Lord Nityananda, he's focusing on the whole parampara, because your guru, whoever he is, has got to connect you with that parampara. Okay. Later on, in the book's first chapter, text 35, Kaviraj Goswami offers his respects to, quote, my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. Prabhupada comments.
A devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master because in the scriptures, acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. There is no limit, however, to the number of instructing spiritual masters one may accept. Generally, a spiritual master
So when you hear these things, both on the slide and what I'm saying, you're going to wonder, is that true? Or is it what we're doing in ISKCON? But save those thoughts for the question and answers, because that's when we churn these points. Okay. So look at that last sentence. Generally, a spiritual master. Okay, so that last sentence indicates the natural, normal guru-disciple relationship sustainable over time. Although Prabhupada was uniquely empowered to spread Krishna consciousness worldwide within a few years, it is worth noting that he entrusted the thousands of disciples he was initiating to the care of his local leaders and senior devotees, his budding instructing gurus. And he was only initiating people on the recommendation, usually of the temple president in those days, because the temple president was observing the new people to see if they were serious, sincere, if they were chanting, if they were following the principles, cooperating. So Prabhupada, he's writing about how it generally works. The one who gives the most shiksha gives diksha. But he couldn't himself actually model that. He couldn't show that because he was always moving. So he depended on his local leaders to, I call those leaders his budding instructing gurus. Now, decades on, here we are in 2026, to glimpse how his movement's guru-disciple culture can become more local and sustainable, the way Prabhupada himself describes it, let's continue to examine his presentation of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita's foundational first chapter, quote, the spiritual masters. So the next section I call, well, it's just more about initiating and instructing gurus. In the years since Prabhupada's passing, the spotlight on the initiating spiritual master may have led members of his movement to believe that to initiate disciples requires more qualification than to instruct them. There's Prabhupada on a morning walk in England. So the previous sentence I said, we might think because of the way we do things in ISKCON that you have to be more advanced to initiate than to instruct. In his comments to text 34, Prabhupada disagrees. So read this.
The initiating and instructing spiritual master are equal and identical manifestation of Krishna, although they have different meanings.
In his comments to text 47, Prabhupada raises the point to a warning. Listen to this.
There is no difference between the shelter giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual masters. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service.
Yeah, they're equal and identical manifestations of Krishna. It's actually offensive to think one is higher than the other, categorically. I mean, individually, we're all on different levels, but categorically, shiksha and diksha are the same, equal and identical manifestations of Krishna. Of course, the potential to have many instructing gurus does not cancel the requirement to accept initiation from a singular guru. In his introduction to the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada writes, quote, the connection with the spiritual master is called initiation. From the date of initiation by the spiritual master, the connection between Krishna and a person cultivating Krishna consciousness is established. Without initiation by a bona fide spiritual master, the actual connection with Krishna consciousness is never performed. It's kind of like love and marriage. Prabhupada even talked about this on the Bowery in 1966. He was saying how, just because you have a nice boy and a nice girl doesn't mean they're going to work as a couple. So they have to get to know each other. So, and then when they get to know each other, and then if they're serious, then they'll commit. They'll commit to a marriage. So to commit to Krishna consciousness requires we start what are the 9 steps that Rupa Goswami talks about? Ado Shraddha. In the beginning, it's almost like a curiosity. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder what these people are doing. It looks interesting. And then what happens is Tatak Sadhu, Jai Srila, Sripad, Shri Shri Radha Manohar, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Yeah, and then by associating with devotees, then if you really get serious, then bhajana kriya, that's where the initiation happens. So we got to go all the way to Krishna, we've got to follow those steps. Give up our anarthas, firm faith, attachment, all those steps. Okay, in the next section I call the power of commitment. Heavy with spiritual knowledge, all genuine gurus are teachers. At the same time, their impact on our lives varies according to the depth of their commitment to us. Again, from his commentary to text 34, Prabhupada says,
Guru is plural in number because anyone who gives spiritual instructions based on the revealed scriptures is accepted as a spiritual master. Although others give help in showing the way to beginners, the guru who first initiates one with the Mahamantra is to be known as the initiator. And the same who give instruction for progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness are called instructing spiritual masters.
so who showed the way to Prabhupada? Who introduced Prabhupada to his guru? Yeah, Naren. Yes. Yes, they went so far back that they were babies in their mother's baby carriages together. But, to the best of my knowledge, Naren never took initiation, or any of his friends. But immediately, Prabhupada, when he was defeated by his Guru Maharaj, that's coming up in another lesson, lesson 4. His allegiance, his loyalty flew from Gandhi right to Bhaktisiddhanta, because he was ready for that. Okay, so there's someone who shows the way. What's that called, and what's the technical term? Anybody know the Vartma or Pata Pradarshaka Guru, and then Diksha Guru, and then instructor gurus. Now notice the progressive commitment from introducing to initiating to instructing. Whoever instructs us the most is naturally more influential in our lives. As we noted above, quote, generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on, unquote. Even when the guru doesn't say a word, the guru is always teaching, especially by example. The most powerful teacher. Example is better than precept, and actions speak louder than words. I remember in 1975 hearing that Vishnu Janaswami, he was still with us, he was in Mayapur, and he went to Prabhupada and he said, Srila Prabhupada, I would like to go in one of those boats, those boats down the Ganga, and stop at all these villages and enliven the villagers, do Harinam, distribute prasadam. But I don't speak Bengali, I don't speak Bangla. So I'm wondering if I should do this. And so Prabhupada laughed. He just laughed. He said, oh, they don't care what you say. They don't care what you say. They just want to see how you behave. Achar is more important than prachar. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah. Okay, next section. There's this is the same event, just a little different shot. I'm not sure who took these shots. I don't think Vishaka was there. It might have been Bhargava. Okay. let's see here. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Prabhu, read.
For the devotees listening to Srila Prabhupada's Vyasapura address, their appreciation of his unique position is increasing. Seated on a throne-like crimson
Dais. Dais? You say dais.
seated
Raised seat, raised seat.
crimson dais, Prabhupada is a guru of gurus, a master at whose feet all masters sit.
Hmm.
Which is the meaning of Prabhupada.
Yes, exactly. Okay, okay.
Although their commitment to him is as green as their summer, surrounding his commitment to them is timeless, and his ongoing request difficult for most of them to imagine become guru.
I mean, this is 1972. The oldest devotee in the movement at this time is a 6-year devotee. So he's telling everybody, you must become guru. And we're still recovering from, our counterculture adventures in the 60s, most of us. So their commitment to him is as green as their sun. You know what green means? It means new. It means it's immature, not ripe. But Prabhupada's commitment to them is timeless. And he's telling us, become guru. In the Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 7, text 128, Lord Chaitanya famously tells the Brahmana Kurma, and you can chime in if you know the verse, Yare dako, tare kaha, Krishna upadesh, amara gyai guru hanya, tare desh, which means, quote, instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So then I say, as recorded in the Bhaktivedanta Database in hundreds of lectures, morning walks, room conversations, letters, and public and private events, Prabhupada cited the above verse. Prabhupada was always quoting this verse as a reminder of the Lord's request. Become guru. From the beginning through the middle to the end of Prabhupada's global ministry, these reminders to his followers were relentless. Here are 2 examples. Okay, so read that.
I want that all of my spiritual sons and daughters will inherit this title of Bhakti Vedanta, so that the family transcendental diploma will continue through the generations. Those possessing the title of Bhakti Vedanta will be allowed to initiate disciples, maybe by 1975. All of my disciples will be allowed to initiate and increase the number of generations. That is my program.
That is my program. This is 1969. Prabhupada has such an expansive view of the parampara. I want all of you, boys and girls, to initiate, disciple. And he didn't say he'd be gone either, and he wasn't gone. Of course, it didn't happen. We were still too green. Still too. But that was what Prabhupada wanted. Here's another one.
So, every one of you can become guru. You may say that I am not interested to become a guru, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that if you are not interested, that is not good. You should be interested. You must be guru. That is success of your life.
Today's student is supposed to be tomorrow's teacher. We're supposed to learn and teach others. That's all. It doesn't mean you have to be Prabhupada. Okay. Now the next section I call strictly follow, and we're going to. Okay. Prabhupada anticipated that some of his leading disciples, out of immaturity, might try to imitate his unique position as Jagat Guru, a universal teacher, and that happened too in the 80s. At the same time, his relentless reminders to become genuine gurus indicate a greater concern that in their supreme esteem for their founder Acharya, his followers would not mature to become gurus in their own right and shelter others in Lord Chaitanya's mission. How then would Krishna's mercy reach every town and village, as the Vedic scriptures had foretold? And how would every sincere aspirant receive the personal care and guidance they would need to make the challenging journey back home, back to Godhead? We need millions of gurus. That's another quote. Not just in this. You know how many there are initiating? There's 100, I think it's 19. And some of them have tens of thousands of disciples, right? Actually, what we need is we need millions of gurus initiating just enough disciples to take care of. So you know who they are and you can personally guide them. That's Prabhupada's vision. All right, so in his writings, therefore, Prabhupada made it clear that the most important qualification to become a guru was to, quote, strictly follow the instructions of Guru and Krishna. And now we're going to show you a letter to Prabhupada, from Prabhupada to a devotee, one of the first Canadian devotees. Janos Dembergs became Janardhan from McGill. He went to McGill. Here we go. Okay.
A person who is liberated Acharya and Guru cannot commit any mistake. But there are persons who are less qualified, not liberated, but still can act as a Guru and Acharya by strictly following the disciplic succession.
Yeah. Strictly follow. That's no small thing, to strictly follow. And for those who only accept what Prabhupada wrote in his books, because people might say, well, that's just a letter, Prabhu, he said that to Janardhan, but what about the books? So here's something from the books, says the same thing. And for those who only accept what Prabhupada wrote in his books, we have this passage.
Although a follower may not be liberated person, if he follows supreme, liberated personality of God, his actions are naturally liberated from the contamination of the material nature. Lord Chaitanya therefore says, by my order you may become a spiritual master. One can immediately become a spiritual master by having full faith in the transcendental words of the Supreme Personality of God and by following his instructions.
Okay, that's Bhagavatam. Now, so, in other words, one need not be a superman or a superwoman to be a regular spiritual master. Liberated or non-liberated, a guru is genuine if he or she, quote, strictly follows the orders of Guru and Krishna. So by Prabhupada's reckoning, his movement today likely has more local gurus than its own members recognize. They simply need to be formally approached for guidance and formally encouraged to give it. As Prabhupada told his disciples in Hawaii, quote, we require many millions of gurus. That's from a Bhagavatam talk in 1976 in Honolulu. Okay, so we're getting toward the end. There's another shot of that throne. Pens scribbling, cameras rolling. His American guests listen to Prabhupada close his Vyasa Puja address. As he looks into their eyes, Prabhupada is concerned that they've correctly heard and understood his message. So here's how Prabhupada ends.
So this is the position of a spiritual master. Don't misunderstand that. This person is sitting very comfortably and taking all honors and contribution. It is needed just to
And thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for caring enough to come and save us. So here's how we do the Q&A. This is a short lesson. We're going pretty fast, but that's okay because hopefully we can churn. Okay, can I read that?
Lesson 1. The spiritual masters learning outcomes. By now, you should be able to
To
explain how Srila Prabhupada demystified the Guru. Explain how Gurus are one and different from each other. Explain why we may misunderstood an initiating spiritual master to be superior to an instructing spiritual master. Explain why Srila Prabhupada wanted all his followers to become gurus. Explain how even non-liberated devotees can act as gurus. Explain the real meaning of Vyas Puja that Srila Prabhupada gave at the end of the narrative.
bless you. Guru Ma, bless. Okay, so when you ask your questions or make your comments, please try to do that in relation to these learning outcomes. Because the tendency in question and answer to want to ask or talk about anything under the sun, but let's just focus on what the lesson was about. Okay, and before we even do that, I'm just going to give you the transition to the next lesson, because tomorrow morning or evening we'll see what Chaitanya Vikram says. So it's tomorrow's lesson. It's called the Founder Acharya Principle. So all Vaishnava Guru-disciple relationships thrive under the shelter of the Founder Acharya, the foundational spiritual master of a disciplic branch. In the next lesson, we'll examine the origin, history, and characteristics of the Founder Acharya principle with a focus on our Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Okay, you have any questions or comments? And there's no such thing as a dumb question. Yes.
Prabhu, you mentioned about having multiple gurus, and then we also know the statement Prabhupada mentions that each of my disciples should have 10 disciples, and then 10 and then 10 further on. However, as you mentioned, currently we have very less gurus in ISKCON. In fact, like very qualified people. For example, recently there was this news that now S.B. Swami can also initiate multiple disciples.
Who?
S.B.
Oh, yeah, from England.
He's like well versed and everything.
Yeah.
But still, it is.
S.B. Keshava, you know him? Real tall, Brit, Indian Brit. Okay, good.
Yeah. So like even well versed people who are following Acharya since long time, it's hard for them to initiate gurus.
Yeah, well, that's because, and I alluded to this. Prabhupada knew that after he left that some people might try to imitate his position, and it actually happened. But, as I said here, he had a greater concern. He had a greater concern even than that in their supreme esteem for their founder Acharya, his followers would not mature to become gurus in their own right and shelter others in Lord Chaitanya's mission. So if we don't have enough gurus, then how will it go to every town and village? Right? I mean, every town and village, that's millions of places. There's a couple of times in his Leela where Prabhupada was asked by disciples, Srila Prabhupada, is there anything special that I can do? Do you have any special instruction for me? And so Prabhupada said on at least a couple of occasions, yes, you can go where I won't. In other words, I'm not going to live that long. But after I'm gone, you have to go where I haven't gone. And he went a lot of places. He went all 14 times in 12 years. So Prabhupada wanted to go, Krishna consciousness to go everywhere, and for people to grow up and act as gurus, regular gurus, not Jagat gurus. So, that was. So you're saying aren't people doing that? It's because we're still kind of left over. It's kind of a hangover from. We think, well, Prabhupada's the only guru, and that's the Ritvik mistake. Prabhupada's the only guru. No, Prabhupada's the Jagat guru. He's the foundational Shiksha guru, but he wants everybody to take care of people, to take care of newcomers. So how is it going to spread for 10,000 years? How's it going to spread all over the world? How's it going to, continue unless we grow up and learn and teach others? And also, it doesn't mean that everybody has to be initiating gurus. Just like, what they call me in Tucson, Arizona? They call me Uncle S. Because I'm not initiating, but we do have a fellow down there. You know our godbrother Jivananda? You know him? Yeah. So he initiates people. And then, but he's not always there. He's traveling, or he doesn't live quite at the community. He lives a little bit away. But sometimes, the younger devotees, they know I'm there, and they approach me. So Shiksha, Diksha, equal identical manifestations of Krishna. And also my godbrother Krishna Kshetra Swami. Yeah, he's actually from California. You know him? He preaches in Eastern Europe. Yeah. So so I asked him once, I say, well, when you initiate people, what do you tell them? He said, well, I tell them that Prabhupada's their, the founder Acharya, and I'm their Diksha Guru. And I encourage them, he says, because I'm an academic, he says, he's got a PhD in Sanskrit or something. I encourage them, look, I'm not always going to be here with you. This isn't like village India thousands of years ago. So I might be at a conference. You might not even get an email from me right away or whatever. And I might not know what you're going through. You might be somewhere all over the world. But he says, I heartily encourage you to make very strong Shiksha relationships with advanced devotees. And there's advanced devotees all over this movement, and they can help you because they're living where you're living, and they know what you're going through. I don't necessarily, even if you tell me, it's nothing like somebody who's living there with you. So that's very healthy instruction to give disciples. So we need more people to offer Shiksha and Diksha, and we can't think just because we're not Prabhupada that we can't do that. Prabhupada's saying, no, you must do it. Lord Chaitanya, it's not very good if you think you shouldn't be guru. You should be. Yeah. Is that all right? Yeah.
But the next point you made repeatedly is that achar, character or behavior, must be solid or deep, so that your prachar, your speaking, can have any good effect and potency. So I think we're still looking to improve the achar, the quality of the guru. We're not so much interested in quantity, but more into the quality.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
There's also the remnant or fallout from the bad gurus who started all right, but because of the artificially tried to imitate Prabhupada, it was a recipe
Yeah.
for disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a hangover from the zonal acharya nightmare. That's true. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't step up and help people. That's like throwing the guru out with the bathwater. You know this saying in English? Throw the baby out with the bathwater. So just because there's bad gurus doesn't mean we shouldn't be gurus. There has to be gurus. Yeah, good point. Yes, Prabhu. Come on in.
In the verse, Yanina Tattva Darshinaha,
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
that tattva means
Seen the truth.
the whole completely tattva or like
What, you want to quote the verse? You know the whole, you know,
100%?
you know the whole verse? What's the verse? Yes. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. Then Krishna goes plural. Upadekshanti. The self-realized souls, plural, can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Hmm? Shastra. Yes, yeah, we see through the ears. I mean, you could, if you're on the level of Srila Prabhupada, you could see Krishna face to face. Premanjana studita bhakti vilochanena. His eyes are tinged with the salve of love. But in the fourth canto purport, this comes up later in the series 42851. You know what Prabhupada says? To see, he says, if you give your life to serve the mission of the spiritual master, this is tantamount. This is the same as seeing God face to face. So, serving his mission. Yes. And then Prabhupada would quote his own Guru Maharaj. He would say, my spiritual master would say, don't try to see God, but you act in such a way that God will see you. He'll want to come and see you. So is that okay? So what was behind your question? That unless I'm seeing Krishna face to face, I can't be a guru?
Well, in that context, that Krishna was saying that that is the let's say the deepest meaning of that verse.
Yeah, I mean, okay, again, but you don't have to be on Prabhupada's level to be a guru. A guru just means to follow your guru. Strictly follow your guru. Prabhupada he used the phrase regular guru. And you'll see later in lesson 4, at the one, no, 3, it's coming up soon. Prabhupada even used the phrase ordinary guru. It sounds contradictory, right? Because you may, wait a minute, the guru's not an ordinary man. Yeah, but there's different levels of gurus, right? And it all works if we're under the shelter of the Jagat Guru. Just like in the Sri Sampradaya. Are there any Sris in the house? Hare Krishna. I think, I think our illustrious temple president is a Sri. He grew up in the tradition, right? So you know what the Sris call Ramanuja? In Tamil, they call Ramanuja their Udarak. Udarak in Tamil means he's the deliverer. He's the deliverer guru. And all the gurus who come after Ramanuja appeared in 1017, and then in 2017 they celebrated Ramanuja's millennial, right? All the gurus who have come after him for 1,000 years now, they're called upakarak. They're benefactor gurus. How do they benefit their disciples? Well, they help their disciples understand Ramanuja's books. They worship his murti. They execute his Vishishta Dvaita mission. Does that sound familiar? Every day we're worshiping Srila Prabhupada, his murti, Guru Puja. It's his books we're studying, Bhagavatam, Gita. And it's his mission, his mood and mission that we're serving. So it's the same thing. Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
How one become guru? Whether somebody said, I want him for initiation, or there is somebody
Okay, are you asking, you're talking generally now, or you're talking in ISKCON?
I'm talking about what's happening. I have seen that person say, no, I want this person, I only want this person.
Yeah.
And then person go to the GBC and say, no, no, this person is not qualified.
No, no, that's not the system. The GBC system right now, although I'm on this group called the Sabha and we're trying to reform it, we're proposing something different because it's a little constipated. We need more gurus. The system is that if somebody approaches somebody for initiation, then that person has to be endorsed, has to be recommended, has to say, yeah, this person's good. I think it's 10 now. I think you have to get 10 people locally who says, yeah, this person is very qualified. She should be accepting disciples, or she. I mean, ISKCON isn't even there yet with she. What this so, but then, and then still, there's things. The guru, I think the latest thing is, because I'm involved with trying to help somebody get approved to initiate. His name was, did you know Babru? Babru, do you know Babru? Okay, yeah, he's a very knowledgeable person. And his sannyas name is Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaj. Yeah. So before Badri Narayan Maharaj passed away, he was telling Ashram Maharaj, look, you should be initiating. You have such good character, you're so learned. We need more people like you. And then he passed away, Badri Narayan Maharaj. So then Ashram Maharaj wrote my temple president, Sandamani Devi Dasi, to say, could you, look, it's weird, I can't go lobbying people that I should be a guru, I can't gather the endorsements, but can you do it? And so Sandamani, she's a very busy lady, she said, she just asked me, Uncle S, or Brother S, she's our God sister. She said, can you help Ashram Maharaj with this? Can you gather the endorsements? So I just finished doing that. I got 10, local respected people to say, yeah. And now I have to submit them. So then you submit them to the GBC. And then if nobody objects, I think within 3 months or 6 months, then the person receives a letter from the GBC saying, thank you very much for doing this service. We really need it. And then that's it. But there's more to it that we want to reform. So I can't reveal the details because it's, you never reveal your plans or else you hex them, you jinx them, right? I think that's even a common saying. Anyway, that's a little kind of a side thing. So, all right, so in terms of those learning outcomes, does anybody have anything else more to add? But, yeah, you're right. We need more people initiating, and it's a hard thing. Just like Kalakanta Prabhu, whom you know well, Krishna House, Bhakti Academy, right? So he came to Gainesville in 2006, and he took the Gainesville ISKCON. He actually made it Krishna House. He's the one that turned it into this devotee making endeavor with Krishna lunch, and then so anyway, he said the reason he took up the service of initiating was that he's a real good, spreader of Krishna consciousness. He's very personal, he's very wise. He's got a good wife, he's solid, he's stable. So he would preach, on campus, and then people would come back to the temple. And then And he would see them becoming interested. Some of these people were actually getting serious enough that they would say, finally, they would say, well, I'd like to be initiated. So can you initiate me? And then Kalakanta would say, Jai Sisi Gonitai Shri Radha Manohar Jagannath Swami. So Kalakanta, he wasn't initiating, so he would say, no, I don't do that service, but I'll tell you what, I can fly someone in. Right? I can fly someone in, and they can do it because, they're some superstar or whatever. And then I don't know how much you're going to see them or how much contact. So Kalakanta said, when I would say this to people, he could see their face drop, like, oh, no. He realized that Krishna was using him to bring them to Krishna consciousness, and he was the person who was supposed to initiate them. It's a heart-to-heart thing. Yeah, generally the one who gives the most shiksha becomes diksha. That's what we read. That's what Prabhupada said right here in that CC purport. That's the way it's supposed to work. So then he did as an austerity. Then he ate his humble pie and he asked, because there was nobody else to ask, can you gather the endorsements? So he got 10 people. And then he gave it to Shesha Prabhu, was the GVC there. So he gave it to Shesha to submit to the GVC body. And then he was approved. Yeah. Yeah, he's got about, I think, 20 disciples. It's nice, it's small, so he can take care of them. But he said, and he's the chairperson of our sabha too, so he's the main driver in trying to work up this proposal to make Guru, the way we do initiations in ISKCON more realistic, more personal, more sustainable. So we're working on it. Okay. All right. As far as initiation? Well, it's slow. I mean, it's like, see, the GVC, it's like kind of like, it's like moving a glacier. But there is movement, there's desire. There's desire, and then we have to translate that desire into some practical program, practical action. And so they created us as an advisory body, so by their own guidelines, they have to listen to us because they created us. Yeah, but that's actually VDG. Is kind of like a subset of the real thing. Is that the way we do gurus? Period. In ISKCON, the whole guru thing, not just ladies and gents too. The way we do initiations is constipated. It's not real. I mean, not always, but by and large, we need a lot of help. Good question, Guru Ma. Okay, so any other questions or comments? Yeah, we're going to do.
Footnote to that. Prabhupada was speaking at that U.S. Guru celebration in Vrindavan.
Yes.
He was speaking for his disciples, but mostly the way he was presenting everything. Why is a seemingly ordinary man being worshipped as if he's God?
Yeah.
And he was explaining that, because he's doing God's business or representing properly. And that was, Prabhupada also empowered his listeners, especially a couple of reporters.
The New York Times was there, and Mother Earth News, and KDKA from Pittsburgh.
And they wrote excellent articles.
Yes, they did.
Prabhupada got a copy, and then he said, okay, he has understood nicely. You make photocopy and put this New York Times article in all of our temples,
Yes,
so others can find out
right.
that the New York Times has given the right explanation.
Yes. If the New York Times says it's good, then a lot of people will believe it. Right? That Prabhupada knew. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But here's a funny footnote to the whole thing. So after Prabhupada, and let's go back a slide. After Prabhupada had said, "Thank you very much," you see there he's sitting. Now what you don't see in the slide, next to Prabhupada's left, as we look at the slide to the right, there's a whole stage. And there were deities on the stage. There were Radha Damodar on the stage, because Vishnu Jan Swami had his bus with Radha Damodar deities. Before the Radha Damodar party with TKG, it was just Vishnu Jan with Radha Damodar. And then on the stage also, well, Jagannath, yes, but also in front of all those deities, there was a huge cake that the New Vrindavan ladies took them days to build it. Yes, very primitive conditions. Oh my God. Yeah. So there's Prabhupada said, "Thank you very much." So then Prabhupada got off that seat, lay prostrate in front of the deities, and then stepped behind into the green where Nanda Kumar was waiting with Hayagriva's Volkswagen to take Prabhupada away down to Madhaban, what used to be called Madhaban, which is right near the palace now. So Prabhupada could just, relax a little after his address. Meanwhile, we're still at the pavilion at Bahulaban. The pavilion's at this top of this big hill. And it was Vyasa Puja day, so we're all fasting, right? But now it's breakfast time. It's noon, and then we're all looking at the cake. So what do? We all charge the cake. So Prabhupada had given this very beautiful address, demystifying the guru and the whole thing, and then his disciples give the purport. It's time to eat the cake, right? So we all charge the cake. What's this? Oh, that's the doorbell? Yeah, well, I remember I saw a corner of the cake where the icing was all bunched up. I wanted the icing, right? So I went for the corner and I grabbed a corner of the cake, and I started running broken field through a gauntlet of brahmacharis, like a halfback with a football or something. And this scene was being enacted all over the hillside. People are grabbing cake, other people are chasing them. So I remember being tackled by 3 brahmacharis, rolling down the hill. I was on the bottom, and the cake was under me. So guess who ate the cake? The ants ate the cake. Meanwhile, Prabhupada's down in Madhaban, and he says to Nanda Kumar after a little while, he goes, so there is some cake. There is some cake. So Nanda Kumar says, "Oh, yeah, I'll go back up get in the Volks and I'll go back up to the pavilion to get you some cake." Well, by the time Nanda Kumar got there wasn't a crumb left. It was gone. It was gone. So Nanda Kumar thinks, "Oh no, everybody ate Prabhupada's cake." No, wait a minute. This is the punchline. This is just the cake, though. So Nanda Kumar comes back to the cabin, runs in. Srila Prabhupada, the devotees ate your cake. So maybe the New York Times and all those VIPs didn't understand what was going on when they saw us acting like madmen, but Prabhupada understood us. So Prabhupada said, "That's all right. You bake another one." make another one. And I didn't know this, but Nanda Kumar, I saw it on the memories. He told some lady, I think her name was Ishana, she heard that Prabhupada didn't get any of his own cake, so she made a little cupcake. And she offered it, and she offered it to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada loved it. So Prabhupada understood us. We were out of control. And the rest of his feast. Oh my God, I didn't even. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Totally understood. Because he understood. He understood us. He knew who he was dealing with. Yeah. That's Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so I hope we can do it again tomorrow, and either we do it when there's more people who are going to come. Well, I'll try to get a hold of Chaitanya Vikram and see if. But he. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I don't have his number. Can you ask? I mean, it should be. You have his number, right? Okay. So tell him it was only like a half dozen people here. Yeah, that if you could give him. Do you have my number? Oh. Okay. All right. Any more? Are we done? Tomorrow, sometime. We'll see if it's evening or morning. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol. And I'm so happy the mic lasted. Now you're going to charge it up, right? That's good.